There are four parts to a healthy marketing plan. And this is for, it doesn't matter what kind of wellness care you offer. This is for all wellness practitioners, okay? 4 parts to a healthy wellness wellness marketing plan. The wellness marketing plan is broken down into systems or celebrations and habits. Celebrations and habits, and then there's inside and outside. So these 4 components are going to be celebrations, habits, inside celebrations, outside celebrations, inside habits, outside habits. You get it? Let me just do a little inside celebrations, outside celebrations, inside habits, outside habits. So it's going to look like this, okay? Inside celebrations, outside celebrations, inside habits, outside habits. So let's go over what each one is. So a celebration is an actual event that you either participate in or you throw for your community. Okay, that's a celebration. Some people will call them events or, I don't know, experiences. Celebration is the word for me. Okay, you've got inside celebrations, which are the celebrations you do in your office for your practice members. And then you have outside celebrations, which are the celebrations that you either get involved with or offer out in your community. So that's inside celebrations, outside celebrations. And there's a method to this, so just hang tight. Then we have inside habits and we have outside habits. Our inside habits, what's a habit, right? Think about the different habits that you get caught up with. I have a habit of chewing gum. I'm so loyal to gum. I chew gum all day long, you guys, like to the point where I need to spit it out before I go live. It's a habit, and it's a hard habit to break for me. We need to have habits for our practice to keep all of this moving forward. And there are inside habits and outside habits. The inside habits are the habitual things that you do inside of the office. Okay? The outside habits are the outside things that you do. The things that you do outside of the office that keep everything moving forward. Why? Think about the last 5 people that you served. Okay? Think about the changes that you instigated or inspired for them from that service. Think about your experience as a practitioner being developed more, further developed, honing in on your craft, experiencing the huge gift of being on the other side of a service, right? When I adjust these babies, I'm adjusting myself more than I'm adjusting them. I'm going to tell you that right now. I get so much out of what I do with them. So I think about the last 5 people that I served. 3 of them are under the age of 1, right? One of them's pregnant and one of them's a senior. And the experience that it gave me, the way that it enriched my life, but also, so we're just a 10-minute stop on their very busy list, right? Go to the chiropractor, go to the PT, whatever it is that your craft is. How it affected the other 150 million things on their list because they got on your table or they had that exchange with you. That's kind of cool, isn't it? So if you have something that looks like this, that's in a healthy way, continuously moving forward, it can change. This is a living thing. It doesn't have to be nailed into stone. Okay. So here's the math to it. There's actually math to this one, you guys. So I've been in practice for almost 23 years. April 1st will be 23 years. Yes, I opened my practice on April Fool's Day. And most of my practice, right, Facebook is still going to say starting live inside of the event, but I should be broadcasted live in our group, Shelley. As far as my picture of this, my practice as far as building it is good. I'm cool, right? So I do need to keep up with the habits though. So I would say about 80% of this sheet is going to be inside habits and outside habits. An outside habit for me, and we're going to go over examples of each of these. An outside habit for me, today I was at the supermarket And I was actually on the phone with Shelly, and there was a dude in front of me who he was buying beer, right? And in New Jersey, you can't get a bag at the supermarket. You have to pay for them. So the guy has his beer in his hands and it's like falling all over the place. I'm on the phone with Shelly. I'm putting my stuff out because they don't ring you up either in New Jersey. And he's like, oh no, I forgot my wallet. And I was like, okay, Jody, here's an opportunity to step forward and to do a random act of kindness for somebody. So what did I do? I paid for his groceries. That's a habit. One of my habits is I itch to find processes or opportunities to do good. That's an outside habit. It's also an inside habit. Let's just go into habits. So an inside habit would be having nothing at all time in my office where there's nobody coming in. There's nothing I have to do. There are no meetings that are on the agenda. It's just me connecting with the physical space of my office. That's an inside habit. And I need to do that on a regular basis because you have to remember the group that we're talking to right now is the staffless practice, the staffless practice, less staff doing what's not the best use of their time or no staff at all. Right? So I need to make sure that my habits are keeping all of this moving forward. So what are the habits that you need in your world? What habits, like chewing gum? It's a really trite example, but you get it, right? I can't not chew gum. I have you're going to see, okay, I'm totally going there, you guys. I have this little jar on my desk and I only have 3 pieces of gum left in it. This is a habit. It's a serious thing, but my habits in my practice are just as serious. I need to have that nothing at all time in my office. I need to make sure, here's another habit. As soon as I see that a new practice member is on my schedule, because I have a habit, an inside habit of scanning the schedule. I usually do it. Sometimes I don't. And when I don't, I regret it. It's a system that I set up for myself. And I always say, nail your systems into the studs of the wall, nail them in really hard, and then hold on to them lightly. Okay. So one of my systems is when somebody schedules with me, I scan my schedule every evening for the next day, ideally. Okay. I don't always do it, but when I do, I'm set. And then I have a checklist. I run them through the checklist of all of the things that we do together from the time that they're set with their appointment online. That's step 1 to the time that they've said yes to my care. There's a checklist that we're following together. Okay. So that's a habit. That's an inside habit. An outside habit would be continue to look for opportunities to do random acts of kindness. That's an outside habit. Another outside habit, this morning I went to Orange Theory Fitness. I do really well with giving you guys examples of real life experience, right? It would have been a really healthy thing for me to do when the person at the front desk asked for my phone number to hand her 4 business cards. That's a habit. I don't hand her 1, I hand her 4. Why 4? She gets to keep 1 in case she loses it. There's another one there. And then she's got 2 more to give to a friend. Or saying to people, who's your family chiropractor? Assumption-based questions. That's an outside habit. Tammy, I'm just going to mute you out, love. Okay. Okay, so inside habits, outside habits. Another habit would be, if you do have staff, a routine or a habit would be to have a meeting with them on a regular basis. A habit that keeps things moving forward because we want this to continue to move forward. If your practice right now is a mess, if you can't figure out which end is up, been there, done that, right? Best for you to focus on the inside stuff, the inside habits. Okay. Don't bring new people into chaos. Figure your stuff out, figure the inside out, and then bring people in on top of that. And I promise you, I swear to you, as you figure out your inside habits and you grow with them, people are going to just start coming in. Your perfect practice member is going to start coming in. By the way, Shelly, if you can drop the link to perfect practice member in the comments of this Facebook group, perfect practice member is really where you want to start this whole thing. And then I'm going to go over perfect practice member, and then I'll get back into outside celebrations and inside celebrations. So perfect practice member, you know, there are so many, every coach has a rendition of perfect practice member. It's the person who, this is the bottom line. Some people will say, and this is the way that I teach it, it's you 3 to 5 years ago, or the antithesis of you, one or the other. Other people will say, your perfect practice member is the person that you see on the schedule and your whole day lights up. You see their name and you know it's going to be a good shift. That's your perfect practice member. And if you have that person, then you grab all of their qualities and all of the things about them and you write them down and you study them and you become very familiar with who they are in this world. And the exercise that Shelly is sharing with you in the comments here, it's going to give you the tools to walk through each step of perfect practice member discovery. Okay, let me just see what you guys are saying here. Hold on a second. Okay, let me just see what you guys are saying. Oh, I'm so tired of hearing my voice. And Shelly, if you can put that in the Facebook post as well, that would be awesome. Okay. Let me just see here. Shelly's driving. Hi, Shelly. Not my Shelly. Shelly Dave. Let me just see what you guys are saying. Okay. Okay. So the second part of perfect practice member is going to be, once you have that person in clear view, you're going to write out policies or develop boundaries for that person, because this is where we usually go wrong. We have our perfect practice member, we set our practice up to really cater to that person, and we've got no boundaries with them. And time, energy, and money goes out the window, especially if we don't have staff. For many, many years, I had a team at the front desk to protect me from my Sally, my perfect practice member, and my inability to say no when I want to say no. I say yes when I want to say no sometimes, right? So in the heat of the moment, when I'm adjusting a ton of people and I've got like a party happening in my office and somebody says, hey, can you adjust my mom for free? She happens to be in the bathroom. Can she come get on a table? What I want to say is, I'm sorry, we have a policy for that, and this is my policy. But what I usually do is I say yes. Too often will say yes when I want to say no. I have policies in my practice for my perfect practice member in mind. Now, I need that because my perfect practice member is the 30-something mom with the time, energy, and resources to give more and do more for her family. That's my perfect practice member statement. You will come up with your statement when you do that exercise. The reason I'm saying this to you is because all of this comes down to who's your perfect practice member. So that when you do go into celebrations, oh, they're up here. Inside celebrations, outside celebrations. If I have a practice filled with 65-year-old golfers, it wouldn't really make sense for me to have a cookies and I don't know, you guys, like a jamboree party at my practice. If I have a practice filled with pediatric and prenatal practice members, jamboree would rock it all day long, right? So once you develop who your perfect practice member is, then you go through and you figure out what you're going to do to celebrate them. Nobody wants to be part of a practice that they don't feel celebrated and loved on. And I've been part of way too many practices where the doctor's really good at what they do. And if you guys have read my book, Staffless, and you go, if you don't have this book, get it. It's super cheap. You can get it on Amazon. You can have it tomorrow. It's the Cliff Note version of our school. And in here, my very favorite part of the book is the cold, hard chair weight. And the cold, hard chair weight goes into like the epitome of what I'm talking about, where I walk into my OBGYN's office and I'm sitting on a cold, hard chair. Nobody in the waiting room is talking to anybody. They're all looking at their feet. There are like magazines that have stains on them in the waiting room. I am paying $200 out of pocket to spend 3 minutes with my doctor who tells me I'm great, I'll see you next year. And the woman behind the counter who is completely miserable could not be bothered by me. I'm bothering her. I get it. I totally get where she's coming from, right? So that's the antithesis of what I want to create with this. Does that make sense? I think you guys are smelling what I'm cooking. Let me just see. Okay, cool. So outside celebrations, outside celebrations, inside celebrations. In my book, The Joy-Filled Practice Plan, there are all of my celebrations, the inside, the outside. My habits are in there too. Okay. Let me give you an example of some celebrations. For outside celebrations, I would do something like go to a local health fair. I would even throw health fairs for my community. I would do screenings at local events, but that have my perfect practice member all over them. I would go do dinner for health at for different communities. I would go into the schools and teach about chiropractic to the 2nd and 3rd and 4th graders and give an information packet for little Johnny and little Susie to take home. Outside celebrations. Those were my big ones. The dinner for health was the biggest one, and I actually have an entire program for you guys. You know what I'm going to do? I'm totally going to do this. You ready? Okay, I think I've completely lost my mind. So right now we're offering like this crazy promotion to grab a seat to my 12-week coaching program. And I think what I'm going to do is, as a 5th bonus this is until Wednesday, as a 5th bonus, I'm going to give you my dinner for health program. I'm going to do it. I have to do it now because I said it. So there's that. So dinner for health is awesome. It's like throwing the ultimate party for your entire community where you're fundraising for a charity and you're just filling your practice. And I did it. I would do dinner for health like twice a year, and it was just a constant stream of referrals. The other really fun, it's kind of an inside and an outside celebration, is Honey to Be networking. And Dr. Kelly just posted last week her Honey to Be. Dr. Kent posted his Honey to Be. Why Honey to Be? Because honey goes to a bee. Honey is like the sweetest, most nutrition dense thing on the planet. And a bee is creating it, right? So a bee is that people are afraid of. And this little tiny, beautiful thing is out there nourishing and nurturing on honey, right? Honey to Be. It's the irony of it. It's the magnetic attraction of it. It's something scary that turns into something so sweet and nutritious. Honey to Be networking. Basically, you're inviting all of the people in your community who are serving your perfect practice member into your office for an evening of networking. That's an inside celebration, but it's kind of an outside celebration too. So where do you go with this? You want to pick, I'm going to say, one outside celebration a month. If you're growing your practice, definitely inside celebrations. I'll get to that in a minute. One inside celebration a month. So maybe week 2, you do the outside, week 4, you do the inside. And then habits are all based on checklists. You want some really solid checklists for the new patient experience, all of the things that need habit care. Okay. And if you're one of my students, this is all in school, you guys. Inside celebrations, let's go there. Inside celebrations would be like Bring a Friend Day, or, you know, I was saying this a couple days ago, I did a live, and we used to have Saturday morning bagel fest where we would do bagels and cream cheese. Those were the days. That was like pre-baby when gluten wasn't a thing. And we would just totally chow down on Saturday mornings with bagels and cream cheese. And now I don't really do any of those celebrations. What I do is I have a really serious snack cabinet. My habits are so strong in the practice, you guys. I have like when my moms go into my bathroom and see my display of Young Living diaper care, forget it. They're hooked, right? We've got a diffuser going in the office. We have everywhere. We've got an oil station where people can come and make different tinctures, and it's all stuff that doesn't take me any time or energy. Okay, down to a science. Those are the inside habits. Other inside celebrations could be things like letters from, if you have access to Santa Claus, you know, a lot of us, you know, we can write Santa a letter and chances are Santa's going to listen, right? We can actually ask Santa to send a letter to our practice members on our behalf. Like, it's crazy cool. If you ask really nicely and Santa knows that you are one of these people who just caters to really wonderful families, Santa's going to listen. Okay. Those are inside celebrations. So the idea with this is to have a healthy balance of all four. And if I'm in maybe my senior years of practice, and it's not for me about growth. It's more, at this point, the people who I take care of, I've been taking care of them for generations. It's about I keep loving on them. That's the goal. And that's going to be all habits. Okay. Any questions while I pull up my, the guide for this talk? And Shelly, if you see a question, just text it over to me, please. I'm just pulling up the guide. I want to go through it with you guys really quick. Perfect Practice Member is actually already in our guides inside of the Facebook group. 4-part marketing map is what we're going to go over now. So I'm just kind of shifting course. Hold on one sec. Hey, Shelly, would you mind dropping the PDF here in the I also have Ideal Day in Practice in the guides for you guys. That will help you come up with what you want to do for your practice members. Hold on, I should have this guide open and ready, and I'm sorry that I don't. Who has questions, guys? Anybody so far? Okay. Let me get out of this. I really do want to go over this with you, so just give me a minute. I need a plan, otherwise I don't do anything. I agree, Billy, I'm the same way. Elena, I don't have a plan, but I need it. I got you, Elena. Consistent habits, yep. And Shelly says, I'm driving. I got it, Shelly. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and screen share with you guys. Where'd it go? Here we go, and share. Okay, you ready? So you are looking at, this is actually from the Joy-Filled Practice Plan book. It's one of the lessons in it. There are like 50 lessons in it. And the 4-part marketing map is what we're talking about. It's the 4 parts that we just went over. And this is just going to define each part. And this is in the Facebook group. You guys can grab this. It should be in the guides section. Shelly, if it's not, please drop it in there. The goal here is to have balance in this, right? You don't want too much in one section and not enough in another, and to stay connected to it. And then I'm giving you like a fun pen to paper exercise of inside celebrations, outside celebrations, inside habits, outside habits. And here are different ideas for you. If you are one of my students, you have access to all of these pieces, like how to do each thing. You have access to all of the flyers, all of it's in school for you. If you are not one of my students, then you can either grab the book, The Joy-Filled Practice Plan, or take advantage of our offer right now to become a student. Okay, so that is in the Facebook group waiting for you. So in conclusion, it's cool that we're doing these every week, right? So we're going to do these Monday sessions with Dr. Jody, just so that I can share some good stuff with you. And there will always be a recording, but being here for the live is always the best bet. And then you can go back and listen to the recording. So in conclusion, you want to spend some time on this. Spend some time. Hi, Claire. Thank you. Spend some time planning what this looks like. Okay. Spend some time dreaming up your perfect practice member. Spend some time on the exercise perfect practice member. Go to the guide and create your 4-part marketing map, or just take a piece of paper. You guys don't need a fancy guide, right? Think outside the box. Give yourself permission to have fun in practice. Go back to what I was saying about the last 4 or 5 people who you adjusted, or if you're a PT who you worked on, or if you're a therapist who you listened to, whatever it is that you do, the last 5 people you served. Think about the trajectory of what you did with them, how it impacted their world. You want more really high quality connections for your practice. And the more you focus on balance in this picture, the less you're going to feel like you're pounding pavement. Pavement doesn't need to be pounded to get really good with practice. Okay. Okay, any questions for me at all before we jump off? And Shelley, you can stop record. I don't think we have any questions. Anybody at all?